Hey everyone, for this edition of What's on the Desk, I'm actually going to start this one out a little different with a hobby tip. If you're anything like me, you've been noticing it's almost impossible to get your hands on the Citadel Lead Belcher spray. I've tried the Games Workshop closest to me about 5 or 6 times, a couple other hobby shops that carry GW product for geez, at least the last 3 to 5 months, and I've struck out every time. So it's actually led me to experiment a bit and try out some different brands in the local Walmart, at least here in Canada. And I finally found a product that is insanely close to Lead Belcher, and it's at about the third the price. So this has worked out really well. The Warhounds that you saw in the showcase, I did 2 of them with the Lead Belcher spray and 2 of them with this new spray. Frankly, I can't tell the difference. But the product is by Rust-Oleum. It's a paint and primer in one, metallic, and it's called Dark Steel. When you first use this primer, it's actually quite a lot richer than the GW spray. I'm guessing it's just the metallic flakes in it, or the pigment is a lot higher. So if you like the tone of Lead Belcher, but you kind of want it a little more shiny and flaky, this spray is amazing. And then once you use the spray, if you want to get it down to almost exactly like Lead Belcher, just apply a null and oil wash, and it tones it down to almost an exact match. If you want to emphasize that extra pigment and sparkle in the Dark Steel, then just try using a gloss null and oil wash. That'll actually bring out that flake a little more. I tend to use the standard null and oil just to get it close because I was using it for trying to match, but it worked out really well. I can't tell the difference between the two Warhounds. It's got a trigger just like you're used to on a gun, so rather than having to kind of guess and push from the top when you're shaking, this gives you almost a nice like trigger hold, and then you just push that in. So you've got great directional control with this. I find it's works best if you're about, 12 to 16 inches away. But when you hit the trigger, unlike the Citadel sprays where you have to be like really quick and faint with a quick tap of their trigger device, this one, if you apply the same thing, it actually comes out in like a really fine, wide, almost mist. So it would take a lot of effort for you to clog up the details on your model with this. It's such a fine, good coverage spray that even the ergonomics of this can and the trigger device just make it really easy to use. And finding a spray like, I know the Corax White, I tend to have problems with that, getting good coverage and clogging up details. This stuff has been amazing. On the downside, if you're not used to it, it takes a little longer to dry, and it's extremely sticky to the touch. So be careful when you use it that you don't, only give it 15 minutes like you can get away with the Citadel sprays and then touch the models. You'll find it'll stick to your fingers and come off. But if you give the model about a good hour, hour and a half, it's pretty solid and ready to go. But yeah. Dark Steel by Rust-Oleum. You guys would have seen a lot of those little ultra tiny white scars marines on the bases of the Warhounds, but I actually finished quite a few more. So I got these guys done. Bear in mind with the shaky cam here, I'll just try and zoom in for you. So on top of the epic marines that I put on the bases of the Warhounds, I've actually painted what you see here and about 8 more. These have been surprisingly quick to paint, despite the super tiny size of them. I thought I was going to get carried away and have to spend forever doing the details, but they're actually really quick brush strokes, and it's been taking me about an hour, hour and a half to do around 8 Marines, so really quick to paint, great additions to a base. Don't be intimidated by the micro size of them. So far, on top of the Warhound base ones, I've got about 8 other ones that are on a base you guys will see in the future. I've done 12 Tactical Marines, 3 Devastators, the Redemptor Dread, and a Rhino. The only thing I have left is a couple more Terminators. So that's what's been on the desk, and I guess I'll give you guys a sneak peek on what's currently on the desk and coming up in the future. That's right, folks. The next project on the desk that's underway is the Warlord Titan. This is one of my favorite kits, and I love getting carried away with all the little details and intricacies of it, especially at the skeleton phase before you start putting on the armor panels. There's just so much detail on these things for you to get carried away with, and a lot of fun mixing and matching multiple types of metallics. But don't hold your breath on this showcase coming up anytime soon. I know in the past it typically takes me about 6 weeks to 2 months to finish a Warlord from start to finish. I've gotten a little faster, so I might surprise myself on this, but yeah, this is as far as he's gotten so far. I committed and took the plunge and actually did some slicing and dicing on the legs, or the toes, just to kind of give it that more dynamic stepping feel, which I'm pretty sure once you put the pistons on there, you won't even be able to see it. But yeah, this is the next big project on the desk. I guess either the next showcase or the showcase after that will be both of my Warlords painted up in my Legion's colors. So this will give me 3 Warlords total, including the Mortis one that I already showed up. But really looking forward to finishing this and figuring out what kind of scheme I'm going to go for, like pattern-wise, in the armor panels. Obviously the colors are already decided.
Well, everyone, that's it for this showcase in the Forge playlist. I hope you all enjoyed a look at my Warhounds. As always, comments and critiques are totally welcome. Maybe let me know which one was your favorite, and if you guys have any questions, fire them in the comments below. I'll be happy to get back to you on whatever you may want to know about them. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that like button, and if you're interested in more Titanicus content, subscribe to the channel and check out a few of the playlists. Maybe something's up your alley. To those of you that are subscribed, thank you again. Love hearing from everybody. I guess I'll leave it there, and I'll catch you guys on the next post, which will probably be a Legion video coming out relatively shortly. Take it easy, and I'll catch you on the next one.